Mr. Mike here with a video of something that has been bothering me for a little bit now. Well, actually longer than a little bit. It's been months now. You remember that little console that we all thought we could get, the NES Classic? Then Nintendo decided to, make it for a little bit, and then month after month we're like trying to get it and it's sold out, and trying to get it sold out. And then they said, oh, we're going to discontinue it because we're not going to continue making the NES Classic anymore. And, the only place you can purchase the NES Classic is through scalpers. Well, recently, as we found out, or earlier, we found out that after the NES Classic debacle, where we couldn't get any NESs, or NES Classics, I should say, for ourselves, we were pissed. And then we found out about the SNES Classic. We're like, oh, here we go. And Nintendo says, well, this is going to be a limited run. They're going to do it till the end of the year. Blah, 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 blah. And we're all like, well, screw that. We're not going to get one of these. So, before I decided I was going to either pre-order or not pre-order the SNES Classic, I took my own liberties ahead. And I said to myself, you know what? I've been hearing about people out there that were making their own little NES or SNES Classics out there, and they're making their own little game machines or game consoles using the Raspberry Pi, which is a little computer, which I have right here in front of me, to make a game console for themselves. And not say, well, Nintendo, we were going to give you $70 for these consoles, for each of these. You decided to spit that back in our face and shortchange us with products and all that, and you decided to cancel the item. And now that the SNES has been up for pre-orders for like 2 seconds, overnight, mind you, which really POs me, none of us got our hands on one. At least us legit people. Unless if you're up at like 2 in the morning or 5 in the morning, you didn't get anything. And those were up for like a little bit. Apparently GameStop's only had like 10 on 10 for each store to be able to be pre-ordered, and if you weren't working during the day you could grab yourself a pre-order, but most of us were working during the day, except for the people that were either, don't work, or were magically off, or were able to be off those days and go, oh, I'm going to go to GameStop and pre-order NES Classic right now. Those were sold out in an instant. Walmart, of course, was no help to us. And then a whole debacle of us people that signed up to be notified when these consoles were going to be available for pre-order. And, well, look what happened. They changed the ID numbers of the consoles, and we didn't get no notifications. So this whole thing was a shit show, like we were all saying. And I was pissed. I still am a little pissed about that. And I don't care if they come out with another batch or more batches or whatever. I'm not gonna worry myself. I'm not gonna stress myself out, worry myself to get an SNES Classic Edition, because you know what? If I go and I'm able to get one, I'll get one. But if not, I'm not gonna stress it, because I will be able to play the games that I want to play, at least most of them, off my Raspberry Pi console, which I am building, which I'm gonna show you guys how to build it in this nice video that I'm trying to do here, and I hope it's easy enough for you guys to do. Now, this is the first time I ever messed with the Raspberry Pi or tried it out. I've been playing around with the Raspberry Pi for a good month now before I started, actually putting games and game ROMs on this thing. It's a remarkable little device. This is the Raspberry Pi, or the Raspberry Pi 3 Model B. Make sure to get this version, because this is a very good version of the Raspberry Pi. Now, you can use basically like any Raspberry Pis if you want, like the Raspberry Pi Zero. They got version 1 and 2 of the Raspberry Pi. But with Raspberry Pi 3 Model B, not only do you get a nice 4-port USB 2.0 hub but you get your Ethernet port, you got a HDMI, you got your little sound thing if you really want to put headphones in this, which I doubt anybody would do. Micro USB for the power port and all that. It's a nice design. It has a micro SD card slot on the back, underneath right here, so you can put your micro SD card for your basically your software, your main UI and all that. And your games will eventually go on that. And it has, of course, Wi-Fi. It accepts what it is. It accepts 802.11b, G, and N for Wi-Fi, and it has Bluetooth 4.1 built into it. So you could hook up Bluetooth devices with this thing. So very good. And basically you could get it anywhere. And it's really cheap. I think I got mine for, what, $25, $25, $30. You shouldn't pay more than $25, $30 for Raspberry Pi 3 Model B edition, because they're supposed to be that cheap. If you're seeing it for a higher price, hopefully it's coming with a whole bunch of stuff that you actually want, not a bunch of crap. And what I'm talking about is, like, I don't know, game controllers or whatever. Somebody creates like a game console Pi edition or something. But if it comes with a bunch of crap, stay away from it. Just get the Raspberry Pi 3 Model B model. You can get it on Amazon. Amazon had it for like 20, 30 bucks, something around there. I think Newegg has it. I think Tiger Direct has it. Or you could go to raspberrypi.com or whatever they call it. I forgot. I think it was element14.com. Yeah, right there. Element 14, if you could see it. Element14.com, then you could get it. I would just go on to Amazon. Easiest way, safe, easy, just in case if you want to return it. They accept returns on this stuff, so very easy, very cheap. What I also bought, because like I said, for power, instead of just using the USB power and stuff like that, and plugging it up to another hub or something like that, because this is going to be a real game console, I also purchased this Cana kit. It's called the Cana kit. You can also get this on Amazon.com, which I bought most of my stuff basically on Amazon.com. So if you want to go to a site to get all of your Raspberry Pi gear, let's just say I went to Amazon.com for everything in this video. So this is a 2.5A power supply for the Raspberry Pi. It even says that on the box, so you won't get confused. It's a nice little power supply. Hooks up, plugs into that nice little port right here, right over here. You could just easily just plug it in right there. Very easy. Best way to get perfect amount of power for your Raspberry Pi, so you can use it for your gaming love, and it's a real console. So the Cano kit, like I said, comes on Amazon.com. Also, what you're going to need for this thing, 2 more items especially, well, 3 if you want to count this. I also have on hand an extra Bluetooth keyboard, a wireless Bluetooth keyboard. As you can see, I got the little wireless hub in there. This is a cheap Logitech one. You could get these for like 10 to 20 bucks for a Logitech keyboard. This is if you want to type stuff into it, or if you want to mess around with the operating system some more or something, or if you want to edit something like names of games or something like that. It's nice to have a keyboard like this. Eventually, I am going to buy myself a micro USB keyboard or a micro Bluetooth keyboard for my Raspberry Pi. They do sell those as well. Those are like 20 bucks as well. It's going to be like a little keyboard. It's going to come with a little mouse pad on the side. It's really neat. Didn't buy it yet. Gonna buy it eventually because, like I said, I got this keyboard, this extra Bluetooth keyboard on hand. So, I have that. But if you want to use one of those little mini ones, go for it. I'm sure it'd be just as good. Also, I purchased a controller. Now, you can use a lot of USB controllers. I guess you could use an Xbox 360 controller on this. I used the actual PS3 controller on my Raspberry Pi originally before I bought this one, and this is basically your knockoff USB Super NES controller. Now this is of course a fake SNES controller, but it's really nice. It's nice to the touch and the feel. It does feel plasticky because this is made by one of those Chinese third parties right there, and I can see that there's some film that I didn't even notice. I'm thinking about I'll redo some of this stuff to make it look a little bit fancier for me, but not a bad cheap controller. Another like 10 bucks right here. This one's the Mario Retro, as they call it, the Mario Retro accessories, and it's basically a USB classic controller, colorful Super NES for PC, Mac, Raspberry, and emulator. So this is from Mario Retro. They also recommend, a lot of people recommend the iBuffalo controllers. I hear are pretty good. I might get that as a second controller because I only purchased one for now. But when I purchase the second one for, you know, 2-player games, I might get an iBuffalo one next to see how that one works with the system. But it's really easy. You just plug and play and set up the controller, which I will show you later on in the video when we set this console up, and I'll show you how to set up the controller buttons to map with the, you know, all the clicks and buttons and gameplay for gameplay and stuff. Now next, what I recommend buying, and you can choose any case you want, just make sure it's Raspberry Pi 3 compliant, which it's made for the Raspberry Pi 3. I bought this one. I bought the Raspberry Pi, or the Arduino Raspberry Pi 3 aluminum kit, or aluminum case and fan kit. This is by Arduino, or Arduino, no. I can't even say it. It's made in China, like everything. It's a little metal case, which I got right here, which it is painted. I actually took this and I spray painted it. I gave it a nice couple coats of nice spray paint and stuff. Put a little shine onto it. I put a little clear coat over it on top of it. Did a little naming, which if you look on the screen, which I'm having in this video, you will see some photos that I did of me spray painted from before and after photos of this, and seeing what I have done with that. So I hope you like it. So I spray painted it. I put little writing in there. I cut out the words, which I'm calling this little console the RetroPie, basically. I wanted to name it something completely different than NES Classic or Super NES Classic, because I knew I was going to use this for Sega Genesis gaming and other games I want to try from other consoles as well. So I call it the RetroPie. And I made a nice gray. It was basically black. Made a nice shiny gray. Put a nice clear coat over it. It looks and feels really nice. And I did that with the whole thing. As you can see, there's some black on the back, and there's the silver. It's really nice. It came out really good, you know, for everything that I spray painted here. You know, bought a cheap can of Krylon spray paint if you want to do that yourself. The best way, if you really want to, you know, not go with the average colors that you could get, because I think you can get different colors for your cases, and it depends on what case you get on Amazon. You could even get any SNES case or Nintendo or a NES case made for the Raspberry Pi as well. But I wanted something with a little bit more metal texture, a fan in there, and you know, I wanted to get away from it looking like an SNES or NES Classic. Eventually, I might buy more Raspberry Pis, and I might make a SNES and a NES consoles for their own retro system. But for now, I wanted this to be something completely different, making it my own SNES, NES Classic edition for myself. And like I said, it's going to play other games as well. And it's just a nice little thing. It also comes in the package, if I bought this, the little micro fan to cool off, keep it cool, even though it doesn't really heat up. Comes with your little micro screwdriver, your little instructions and screws and stuff, so you can install and put your Raspberry Pi together. And like I said, got the photos as I'm showing you of this RetroPie painting. And using a can of Krylon, do what the instructions tells you. That's like $4.99 right there. And it makes it look beautiful. And it'll last for a very long time. Probably longer than your original consoles. Also, what you're going to need is probably a Windows-based PC, or Mac. I use this on Windows because I'm a Windows guy, of course. So you're going to need a Windows-based PC, and you're going to need some software as well, which I will go through in the next steps of how to do that, basically. I won't show you exactly how to do it, but I'll show you the programs. I'll show you how to run them. It's very easy, and then you could set up the RetroPie operating system and stuff like that, and get it all up and running. I will show you how to install software on there, or how to install games on this thing, because I got some new games that I want to put on the RetroPie, and I want to deparse all the stuff I have on there right now. I'm going to take off all the games that I have on there now, and I'm going to put on brand new games on the RetroPie so that, you know, I can have it and parse it, and we can make it look like an awesome little console that it is. So, what we're going to first do, before we get into any of the software, before we get into doing anything with the games or anything else, we got to set up this Raspberry Pi 3. We got to actually install this sucker. Now, like I said, I got my Logitech little nub here. I'm going to probably keep that in. It shouldn't get in the way with it. And I'm going to put together this console here. So, I got a little tab down here. That's probably for the micro SD card slot, and this is the base bottom. So I'm going to put this down here. I'm going to put my Raspberry Pi 3 over here on top of this. I am going to get some screws out, if I could get these out correctly. And everybody's different. Everything is different here. Let's see here if I can get this right without making this bag of screws go everywhere. Come on, little bag of screws. Not that easy to do half the time. I think this is probably the hardest part of this video for me to do here. Yeah, this bag of screws is the hardest thing to open, so I'll use the screwdriver to help me open up the bag of screws, because I can't do it. There we go. And we'll take some screws out here. We're going to take the black ones out, because those are the ones that we need. We don't need none of these nuts, bolts. Just need the black screws. And we're going to install, which we're going to screw down, this Raspberry Pi into this case. So I'm going to put one here, one black screw here, one over here. And I hope you guys can see this. I'm looking at my video here, my overview here. Got that one going on right there. And you know what? How about if I do this? I might as well be professional. I'm going to lower this camera down a bit for you guys. Zoom on in so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Why not? There we go. There we go. I think that'll be better for you guys. So, gonna screw this in. Gonna screw that one in. I got another one here. It's a shame this ain't magnetic, like a magnetic screws and screwdriver, because it'd be a lot better for me to screw this in. You know, it's just like doing a computer. A little motherboard, you're screwing the motherboard into its chassis. And if you're somebody that wants to learn how to use a Raspberry Pi or make a computer and stuff, these Raspberry Pis are amazing computers. Like, you could turn it into a media server, you can turn this thing into, like I said, a gaming console, a regular computer. If you really wanted to do it, you could put Linux on it, or base Windows on it. If you really want to get it technical and learn how to program and stuff, you could put base Windows on here. That's pretty sweet. But pretty much, yeah, there you go. Look at that. I better check out some more of these screws and stuff here. Let's see here. So I got that in. I think we'll put the cover on next, which I gotta make sure I put it on right, because it's gotta slide in there. I gotta actually slide it in here, which, you know, with the paint makes it a little bit harder, because I did paint this, but I made sure this would slide on. Actually, you know what I should do? Before I slide this on, you know what I almost forgot? the fan. Now, I didn't test out which way the fan went, and I'm hoping it shows which direction it goes in. I think the labeling goes up. So I'm gonna install the fan right now, because that has to be done as well. So let's see here. Got the fan. Got some nuts and bolts here. Oh wow, they don't make this easy for this nuts and bolts in this fan. Not at all. Not at all. Let's see, is this the correct way to do this? Hold this down and screw this in like so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there we go. I got part of the fan in. See, I got part of the fan in there, you know. And then this fan is going to hook up to this socket over here, this 2 socket. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to screw in the rest of these, and I'm going to pause this video while I do that, and then we'll get back to it while I am pretty much have when I'm inserting this and stuff, and I'll show you guys in a little bit. So I'm going to pause the video right now. Okay, everybody, I'm back. I was doing a little testing here because I was wondering why the fan and stuff wasn't working. I wanted to make sure the fan worked on here, and I wanted to make sure the power supply was working. At first, I couldn't get the power to work because the plug wasn't going in all the way, and then I did a little bit of pushing and movement, and I got it to work. I wonder if how well the HDMI runs on this. It should run okay. It's got enough room in there to pop in the HDMI cable. Basically, this is what it looks like before I close it up. It's got some extra stuff, you know, extra cooling that you could get out of here. The fan on top, micro SD card on the back. Another thing I was finding out with this particular case, and it might be different between your cases, when I was trying to slide it on, it was a lot harder to get this fan cable because the fan cable is only so you know, so short. It's well, so long, I should say. It's short. I had to do it this way: put the case over and then clap it down into the thing, which I found out worked as well. I thought it was only slide on. But when you're hooking up the fan, if you got a fan or if you got another case with a fan on it and you got to hook it up onto the board, this is where you hook it up to. There's little pins up here, and you got to make sure you're on these 2 pins right here. So I'll pop this off. So you got your red and black, and then you got your board. You got to make sure you do these 2 pins right here, right before the first pin. You got to go with these 2 pins on the outer side of the board. So when you put this in, you just pop it in like so. Just like any computer, make sure you got the holes going in and all that. Push it in there, and there you go. So you should have 1 pin there and 2 pins over on that side, and that's how it should be, like that. Put in there. Don't worry about if it's a little crooked or something. You can always make sure it's regular, but that's how it should be in there. That's where the power comes from. That's the exact spot where you get your power to run the fan that cools your Raspberry Pi. So I'm going to enclose this case here, like so. Snap it closed. Looks really nice. It's really nice and flat. Everything's nicely tucked inside of it. You got the fan over the main CPU of the Raspberry Pi. There's a lot of underflow and a space around it so it can keep cool. Like I said, you got your USB ports up top and your network port. So what we're going to continue to do, we're going to continue to add some more stuff to it. So why don't I add the backing and put on my case for the micro SD card slot, which you could still easily get the micro SD card if I want. I just have to pull it out and push it in because it gives you a nice little room there. Some more air vents. And I could put in these black screws some more. So what I'm going to do, got 2 top black screws like so. Screw these in into the case. So far, not so hard. The best part about this Raspberry Pi Model 3 in this case is, and you know, you want to consider this because you could get easy access to your micro SD card here to put it in and pull it out. It's going to make it a lot easier to install the software and pop in the card, because you're going to need to use your computer to install the software and flash this card to make it bootable for your Raspberry Pi before you use it on your Raspberry Pi as an operating system. So, and as I do this and drop more black screws down for myself, you know, 2 more in the front, 2 more in the back, like so. Come here, little black screws. There we go. And if you're a tinker, you're a techie, or a geek, or even not, this is a good way to have a family project for your children or whatever. You know, yourself as a gamer. And if you're just tired and sick of corporate America and you just want your own, you know, little NES Classic or SNES Classic, and you know you're not going to ever get one, well, this is the alternative right here. Even though I don't, me and a lot of people do not want to endorse pirating ROMs and stuff, which you're going to have to use on this device, is your own ROMs. A lot of people say buy your ROMs legitly. I don't know any sites that sell like NES and Super NES ROMs legitly, at least to my knowledge. So you're going to have to find a place for that, probably. I don't know of one, and I left a piece of tape on here. I left this black for a reason, because it has a serial number on here or something. So let me peel this tape off. I forgot about this. Yeah, this has the little thing on there. It says power, HDMI, and AV. Look at that. Huh, can't believe I totally forgot about that. So that makes it cool. You know, I gave it its little power in, HDMI, AV. Why not? AV. I wonder, it says AV, but this is just audio, right? Or is that actually video you could take out of there? Huh. I wonder, because it says audio video. Not just audio. Audio video. I wonder. But, you know, I could use HDMI for that. This thing's full of surprises. I'm learning stuff all the time. Now to pop on, if I do this right, pop on the cover for this part of it. There we go. Do I got any more stickers on here that I didn't take off or forget to take off? No. I think I just took off all the stickers that I did. I totally forgot about those. So let's put these screws on. I like to pop them on one by one. Here. Yeah, and then I'll get one more on there, and then I'll have to go in the bag and get out another one. Let's see here. Screw that puppy down. Yeah, great learning tool for beginners in computers and technology, and great for making something really cool for you and your family to play around with down the road. Like I said, many use cases with the Raspberry Pi. You even can make this into a Minecraft server if you really wanted to. But like I said, in this tutorial, in this video, I am just making a like a NES, SNES Classic Edition for myself. So I can play some Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario World, which is the biggest thing I wanted to play, which I love Super Mario World, and it sucks that if I don't get my hands on a SNES Classic Edition, that it won't matter to me. This last screw is a little hard to put in here. What am I doing wrong here? Am I sticking it in wrong? As I dropped the screw in the wrong spot here. Let's see here. Gotta get that bad boy in just nicely right. Keep it straight. screw it on down, and it should screw in nice and easy. If it doesn't screw in nice and easy, you're doing something wrong. And there you go. There you have it. With instructions and all. There you go. Looks really nice, doesn't it? Right there. There's my RetroPie right here. A whole little game console and a little Raspberry Pi case and box. Now, like I said, mine, I chose to get a nice metallic one, which I decided to spray paint from black to silver with a nice coat of, specialty coats of, spray paint and clear coat over that to protect it. You could get anything you want. Like I said, they do sell NES and Super NES Raspberry Pi cases on Amazon and elsewhere if you really wanted to do that. But, like I said, I wanted to do it this way. I felt this was a cool little... I like the metal stuff. I like this hard, heavy metal stuff. Plus, because it's heavy, it's not just plastic. This thing will stand on a desk and stuff, especially if you're going to go ahead, oh, I'm going to take my controller out here. I'm going to plug this sucker in, And when you plug it in, like so, like I'm doing, it won't move around as much when you're playing a game. You could be playing a game and go, and it won't move around as much. Now also, on this kit, it also came with some plastic nubby things. I'm going to put those on later, but for now I'll just keep it the way it is. But there you go. There is the RetroPie from, and you can see like I said, I got some pictures for your beginning before it was a RetroPie case of like this color and all that, before I painted it, and now after. And it looks really cool. It's really nice. And I think it's about time we get into the software portion so I could show you guys what programs I'm using, and some of it I'll do video on the monitor, some of it I'll do in the program that I'm recording with, because it basically depends on which one I do. So we're going to get into that after this next. So let's get into that. Okay, everybody, we're back. We're back in this video portion of the video, I should say, on creating a Raspberry Pi console, or as I like to call my console for my Raspberry Pi, the RetroPod, making your own SNES and /NES Classic Edition for yourselves using ROMs, of course, which, like I have to say, like everybody says when they make these videos or do the articles, we're not going to tell you or show you where to get your ROMs from. You're just going to have to find them yourself on the internet. Legality stuff, stuff like that. But if you Google search NES ROMs or SNES ROMs, you will find sites. Just be very careful, because a lot of sites might look legit enough to download these ROMs, but sometimes they might have viruses in them. So have a very good virus protection on your computer. If you're using Windows 10, you got your built-in antivirus programs and stuff with security essentials and all that. And be very careful and wary about some of those sites, because a lot of them could just have, encrypted or, not encrypted, but compressed, files of malware or something like that. So you got to be very careful where you get them. There's a lot of good legit sites. If you just Google search very good sites to get your SNES and NES ROMs, you will find them. Don't worry, you will find them. If I can find them, you can find them. And just be very careful. Technically, you should be paying for your ROMs. If you find a ROM site that you can buy your ROMs from, well, even better. There you go, if you want to give the people that create these. Otherwise, a lot of these older ROMs, SNES and NES era, a lot of them could be abandonware, pretty much, if you want to consider it, because they're hard to find. You can't get them legitly. Then I say, in the gray area, go ahead and get them. But like I said, can't show you or tell you. But in this video, I'm going to show you basically on what you need to get your Raspberry Pi up and running with the software, the RetroPie software, which is the gaming console software UI, which has basically underneath it Linux and a whole bunch of other stuff that creates the UI for your gaming console. and other stuff that you need to format your micro SD card to work with your Raspberry Pi, and how to put your game ROMs on that Raspberry Pi. So I'm not going to go show you every little thing like downloading the ROMs and doing the installation of the Raspberry Pi, but you know, why don't we do this? I will typically show you. So what you're going to need to download, and you could Google search this, and you could go also online. If you want to go online to find out more information, you could go to retropie.org-uk/docs first installation, or just go to, it's the RetroPie website. So if you go to retropie.org, you will find a whole bunch of information on how to install your Raspberry Pi or your RetroPie on your Raspberry Pi. And it's very easy. This is what I used to go through to download, install my Raspberry Pi software or RetroPie on my Raspberry Pi. And this is a very helpful site. Also, there's a thing on Gizmodo. If you go to gizmodo.com, how to build your own mini SNES / everything else. They got a nice little tutorial here. It's pretty big tutorial on how to build everything, put it together, what software to use, etc., etc., etc. But basically, you could just go to retropie.com and it shows you everything here on installation. So, what you're going to have to do is download. You're going to have to download RetroPie from this page, which you could go to retropie.org or whatever, and you can download it. That is going to be the software, or the operating system, I should say, the UI operating system for your Raspberry Pi. Basically, it works on, whoops, I clicked out of that already. Basically, it says there is a version for Raspberry Pi 2/3. They also have a version, make sure you know what version you have of the Retro or Raspberry Pi before you download and install it, because there are other versions. They got one version for the Raspberry Pi 0/1, Model A, A+, B, B+, and then, like I said, I got a Raspberry Pi 3, so I went and downloaded this one. And it's really easy. So, what you gotta do, you get Raspberry RetroPie 4.2 and all that, and then you get a program called Etcher. Basically, it's flashes OS images to SD cards and USB drives safely and easily. Etcher is free to get. You could easily get it. Where did I get Etcher from? Did I get it from here? I think I got it from here. So if I go click on here, and let's see here, Etcher. Yes. When I clicked, this is what you do, because I'm still trying to, I want to give you guys the best and the easiest way to do it. So basically, when you're on the retropie.org site, you go down, you read this, whatever you're using for like Windows or whatever, and you want to install it. I use, basically Etcher. It's free. You just click on that. It takes you to the site if you're on Windows. Does it also have, it also has it for Mac OS and Linux if you're a Linux user, so you could even do this on Linux if you want to. I download it from Windows, of course. It's free. That's the best thing. And basically, you select an image, select a drive, and then you click flash. Just like it shows here in the picture. Select drive, flash. And that's all you have to do. It's very easy, simple to do, simple to use. And why am I exiting out like that? So if you want to do that, just click it, open it. It'll install. And then you just install your ROM. Simple as that. And then you just unzip what you have to do. Unzip RetroPie. the RetroPie image. It's going to be in a compressed zip file, so you're going to have to use your unzipper to do that as well. But as you can see here, I got Etcher opened right now. All I'd have to do is select an image, which then I would go, well, first off, into my desktop, because that's where it is. I'd go to my RetroPie image. I'd click on the RetroPie, and because it's uncompressed, I'd click on this as the image. It would open it. It would select where I want to put it. Basically, what drive, what flash drive, what micro SD drive, and I just click flash. But I'm not going to flash it because this is my regular drive. This is my USB drive in here, so I'm not going to flash that with the RetroPie. I just wanted to show you guys how to do it. Very easy. Let it do its thing. It'll check it, and it'll be done. And then all you have to do is take out the micro SD card out of your computer or whatever device you did it on, your Linux box, whatever, and then you just pop in your micro SD card into your RetroPie's micro SD card slot, plug everything in, you know, your keyboard, your game controller, and etc., etc., you know, your wherever monitor you're hooking it up to, if you're hooking it up to your TV or whatever, which I would suggest doing so you could get your sound and stuff. And then it will load up, let it load up, plug it in, it'll start up, let it load, let it do all the installation and all that. And then there you go. You got it all set up. Very easy. The simplest it can be. It's very easy. And like I said, if you need any help, the best way to go is back to retropie.org. Very easy. Very simple. And on that software, before I get on to anything else, that software for RetroPie, basically RetroPie is Raspberry Pi / Linux is the operating system, but over it they have built a program using Emulation Station, which is a graphical and emulator that allows you to access all your favorite games in one place without a keyboard. Well, you could use a keyboard, and basically it lets you play all your games on your RetroPie. And also you can get Emulation Station if you really don't want to build this RetroPie thing at all, this RetroPie console at all. You could just go install Emulation Station on your computer as well, if you want to. I'm just saying, if you want to. You got choices, people. Lots of choices. But like I said, it's just awesome. Way better just to just have this on your RetroPie. And I'm going to show you other stuff when I'm doing this. Give you each system a look it deserves with custom theming system. Easily download game box art with the built-in metadata scraper. So, yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting when this is all said and done. Easy, works with any controller. Like I said, it's best with a PlayStation controller, which I originally used, or buy one of these iBuffalo or little USB Super Nintendo controllers. Okay, so did that, did the software, did this stuff I could get out of this. Next, you're gonna want to do when your RetroPie is all up and running, you're gonna want to get a thumb drive or something. A thumb drive which you plug in into the one USB port on your RetroPie. Just plug it in, let it sit there for a minute. It will copy, and it's got to be a blank. It's got to be a blank. I should mention this has got to be a blank drive. So, do I have it on here? Where is it? I probably didn't open it yet, did I? I don't think I did, Mr. Mike. Way to go on making a video that you didn't open. So, let's see here. Let me go into here. Let me go to my USB-H here. There we go. I thought I had that open. So what you're going to do when you get into your USB drive, when you plug it in, make sure it's formatted. I formatted mine, and I think NFTS, yes. NFTS, your basic system that you want your USB drive formatted in. Plug it into your Raspberry Pi. You know, nothing on it. You know, call it whatever you want to call it, but nothing on it. Plug it in, let it sit for a minute, then unplug it from your Raspberry Pi, plug it into your computer. When you do that, you'll get this. It'll have a little folder called RetroPie on it. You open it up, it'll have stuff for an empty folder for the BIOS, configs files on there, and then this is the one you're going to want to go into, the ROMs, which it's not going to have ROMs on there, folks. Nope, it's going to have ROM folders, specifically named ROM folders for every system that virtually the Raspberry Pi can emulate or eventually might emulate in the near future. And it has all these folders for each system that you want to put your ROMs into, so it knows which system to have those games on. So what I'm going to do here, if I can do this right, okay, I got my files right here. I got a whole bunch of ROMs right here, ready to go, ready to put it into my Raspberry Pi folder. So let me go into there. I got some files. A lot of these are empty still because I'm thinking about what games I'm going to get from. But basically, I got one Atari 2600 game, Burger Time. So you go open up the 2600 file. I copy it over there. Very easy, very fast. From my computer to my drive. Like I said, you got to have the ROMs, the correct ROMs for that system, and put them into that correct system file folder. So make sure you know what system each ROM is for. Like I said, I always make sure I have my own folders, so when I download each ROM, I put them into those folders, you know, right then and there, so I know which console they're for. Let's see here. I got my NES, which I got, of course, a lot of ROMs for, because NES, of course, was my thing back in the day, and I have a whole bunch of ROMs for that, so I'll go there. Probably copy those. Go into my NES folder here. I'll paste those all into here. All these great games and more maybe to come down the road. So now I got all my NES games. Some of these games are even just created by, fans, fan-modded games. So you could even get those put on the system by fans. What else do I got? I got a PSX one. I don't know if it's going to work for PlayStation, but I'm going to put it on there just because I would like to see if I could get a PlayStation game to work on my RetroPie. I'm not holding my breath or anything about it, but I would like to see that as a possibility. So that's going to take a little bit longer to download into my flash drive. And I'm going to open up my SNES folder. And then when this is done, it's almost done. Should be done in a couple seconds. I got a fast download right here. Because don't forget, this is off a CD. This is a ROM off a CD from the, PS1 days. So I'm going to now go into my last system that I downloaded games for, and that would be the SNES system, which is down here. And, of course, I got my group of SNES games that I want to play. And, of course, SNES and NES games are very, very, very easy to download and install because they're not that big. Oh, wait, I missed one. Sega Genesis. I gotta go into the Sega Genesis system. So let's see here. Was it the Sega 32X? No, I think it was the Sega Master System. So it was called the Master System here in the United States for the Sega Genesis, and I want to put 2 games on that right now. Aladdin and Jurassic Park for now. Yes, people, I do like those games. I could get out of that. And this is my flash drive. It's got all the games ROMs in there. You could get out of that. You can eject that ROM. And then next, I will show you guys when I plug in what you got to do you unplug your flash drive from your computer. You know, like I'll do now. I'll just go here. I'll safely eject it. I like to use the safe eject on there. I'll wait for the computer to allow me to safely remove my USB drive. That's what I'm going to do. You heard, I don't know if you heard anything. You probably didn't hear anything. And of course the message was on the other screen. But all you do is eject it from your computer safely. And then when your Raspberry Pi is on and running and you got the screen on and all that, just plug it into your Raspberry Pi. Just leave it there for a bit. And it'll install all your ROMs depending on how big they are and how many files you got of the ROMs onto your Raspberry Pi, onto the micro SD card on the Raspberry Pi. Or you could configure your Raspberry Pi to run all your ROMs off the USB stick if you want, if you don't have that much memory or room on your micro SD card in your Raspberry Pi. So we're going to go on to the next portion of the video where I show you guys how to, parse and make your Raspberry Pi look like a gaming console within the software. So that is next. Okay, everybody, Mr. Mike here. Okay, we're doing this part now. What is this? The third or fourth part of this, RetroPie, or should I say your NES, SNES, whatever, RetroPie gaming collection for your Raspberry Pi little console that we're building here. Just loaded up the software for the first time again because I wanted to put all my new games on this. So what I have done here, I just basically reinstalled, which you will see in the video, I just reinstalled the whole operating system of RetroPie and all that, and the emulation station, started up right when we started up the software. And basically we are welcomed with the gamepad detection, which it detected my gamepad for the first time because I rebooted everything, so it doesn't have this gamepad memorized in the console. So I have my little SNES controller pad here. We're welcomed by the gamepad detected. Hold a button to your device to configure it and press F4 to quit at any time. That's if you don't want to configure your controller, which we are going to configure the controller so I can show you how to do it. This is what you're going to be welcomed with right when you start up your RetroPie device from your Raspberry Pi device. I always have a keyboard handy just in case, but we're going to hold down the start because it says detect, and this is where you get into the configuration gamepad. So just follow what it shows you on the left and you should just be fine. If you need help, if you're using like a PlayStation 3 controller or something like that, go to retropie.org, look at their settings part where they show you how to set up each controller, configure it right. When I was using the Sony controller, because it has so many inputs, I kind of screwed up many times. This is a lot easier. So I got my D-pad here. I'll go up, down, left, right, start, select, A, B, X, Y. We don't have anything for that, so we can skip it by holding it. If you hold one of the buttons that you already configured, and you just hold it down, you will skip that. So we don't have any shoulders, but we do got a left trigger. We do have a right trigger. We don't have any fun buttons, so we're going to skip that one, that one, that one, that one, all the analogs, because we do not have any of this stuff. So we're all done. We configured my SNES controller. Now let's hit OK. This might take a couple clicks sometimes because it's one of those things. Come on. Start. There we go. Now we're brought into this. If you get into the screen, do not worry because this is just the setup here because I don't have any games on here right now. It is fresh. It is new. Everything is new. So what I'm gonna try to do is I've got some themes here. I'm gonna load that sucker up with the themes, and we're gonna try to install. Let's see here, a theme. I want to install. Where is it? I want to install the Carbon theme. So let's see if it'll let me install this. The last time I tried to install it, it wouldn't let me install it, so. Let's see here. Install? Is it installed? Doesn't look to be installed. Now, I was having trouble with this before. I wonder if it's just not installed because it's not, the data ain't parsed yet. So we might want to try that again later. So let me try it one more time. Enter. And I don't think it installed. No. So we'll just cancel this. We won't worry about any of that stuff. We'll get it back into this. And let's see here. RetroPie setup. Wi-Fi. I think I want to install the Wi-Fi so I can download stuff here. Let's see here. I gotta remember my Wi-Fi password. What was it here? Which you guys will never know, but I will. And, oops, I ran into the wrong file thing here on my password list. Ah, here we go. Connect to Wi-Fi network. Yes. I want to connect to my Wi-Fi. And hopefully you won't see this. Let's see here. Okay, entering it in. And I'm going to hit enter. Connecting. Connecting. And it should connect if everything is good. You could connect, you know, I could hardwire it through the network. But I just want to connect to Wi-Fi. Okay. Current IP configuration Wi-Fi. Connect. Okay, I think everything was good. So we're connected to the internet. So we'll get back to this. Now installing the games. Or installing the ROMs, I should say. So in order to install the ROMs, I have them, like I showed you in a video earlier, I have them installed on this USB flash drive, which you cannot see in this part of the video. But I'm gonna plug this in to my Raspberry Pi here, and it is gonna download these ROMs onto the Raspberry Pi if everything goes correctly. So I'm plugging it in. It's reading it. It's flashing, so it is reading it. And all my games should be inserted onto the USB, from the USB flash drive onto the micro SD card on my Raspberry Pi. Might take a little bit. Just gotta wait for it. And it might reboot the system. So if it does, do not worry. That's just what it does. Let's see here. Can I get out of this? Let's see. If I could go into menu, I am going to restart emulation station. So you're going to see me go off and go back on. So let's see here. Let's restart emulation station to see if we get the games. Yes, restart. Yes. Okay. We are resetting emulation station.
Hopefully. Looks like I'm still recording. Got a black screen here. It is loading. This might take a little bit. Oh, there we go. Loading emulation station. And there we go. And that's what should pop up when you know you have your games on here. So if I go into Atari, I have Burger Time on there. If I go to Sega Master System, I only got Aladdin. Why don't I have Jurassic Park? Oh, there's my Nintendo. That's my Sega Master System. PlayStation. Oh, it actually shows Crash Bandicoot. I wonder if I could play this. I'll have to try that. It shows it. The only game that did not show up was my Jurassic Park for Sega Master System. I might have to look at that. Like I said, I got all my Super Nintendos on here that I wanted. And I renamed them too because the files did not show all the... Whoops, I went into the wrong section. My files did not show all the real names of these games, so I had to redo this myself. But before we go into playing any of these games, I want to do one thing. One thing. So I'm going to get out of this. Let's start with the Atari one. Let's start. I think we could do them all. Let's see here. Let's see how long it takes. We're going to scrape these things. I want to scrape. Yeah, I want to scrape now. Filter only missing image, all games. Let's see. Filter only missing image, all games. Let's see here. Systems 5 selected. Users decide conflicts. And let's see if we can scrape it. Scraping means it'll provide all the data for each game that I have put on the system here. It'll get all the information, the box art, all that stuff should be on there after I scrape them. So we're going to scrape. We're going to see how long it takes. Scraping in progress. So we got Burger Time. And there's 51 games we got. So, scraping in progress. Burger Time is the first one, and this is for the Atari 2600. Like I said, I do not know how long this will take, but it does work, they say. It's supposed to work very good, so... Scraping in progress. 1 of 51 games. Now, do I have to... Oh, I gotta hit it. Okay, Disney's Aladdin. Sega Master System. Yes. No games found. Afro. Yes, that would be skippable because that is a fake game. A ROM game. Alien 3 should be found, but I can understand if it does not. Let's see here. Let's see if I can change this a little bit. That's not letting me use my keyboard for some reason. Let's see if I could search it. No? No search? Well, I'll search for it later. How about that? I got Back to the Future. And Back to the Future Part 2. So, I got those two NES games, so I can say yes on that. No game found for Back to the Future 2 and 3. Let's see here. Let's put back to this Back to the Future. And then search it out. Let's see here. I'm trying to get in here. Did it freeze? Sometimes it gets a little freezy here. Okay. Yes. I'm done with that. I want to get down. Can I tab down here? Do I have to tab? Or don't I got a keypad here? Oh, there we go. Can I search now? This is what the tricky part is, folks. Gotta figure out how everything could go. Okay, stop editing B. Oh, we'll just skip it for now. Battleship. Yes. Here. How about this? Because I am doing this by thing. Here. How about if I turn off the conflicts? I let it do its thing. And this will go a lot faster. Because with me doing my conflict, it's just not it's not doing it the way I intended. So right now, it's scraping all the game files. Finding box art, game data, all that stuff, what they're about and all that. So hopefully it should come up with a lot of games where I'll have box art for and see. We'll see what worked, what didn't, and we'll see where we can find other game box art and stuff. Like we got Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario Brothers 3. Ratings for each of the games, when they came out, all that great stuff. Addams Family, The Little Mermaid, boxing, wrestling, WrestleMania, Crash Bandicoot, Aladdin for the Super Nintendo, Donkey Kong Country 3, Donkey Kong Country 2, Mortal Kombat 2, SimCity 2000. Am I missing the original Donkey Kong? Or Donkey Kong Country? Huh. I thought I had that. Thought I had the original Donkey Kong. Okay. 33 games were scraped. 14 games were skipped. Okay. So now, only missing images, conflicts on, let's see. Afro, yes. Skip. Alien 3. I don't know why it did that. Don't know why it did that. Bomberman, I'm surprised it skipped that. Dig Dug. Maybe because they weren't on there. Donkey Kong 3, Donkey Kong Jr., Next Action Hero, Panic Restaurant. Is it because it's not... Let's see, edit. A to edit. Is it because I didn't space this? Okay, stop editing. B. Search. Ah, there we go. Maybe that's why. There we go. Oh, wait. Back. Yeah, get that. Okay, Samurai. Understandable. Star Wars. I'm betting because some of these that I have to edit are because maybe I gotta space out this stuff. So, let's see here. And it might take you a little while. See, now, look. It's actually doing it. Star Wars. There we go. So now it is having Star Wars. Terminator? Should it be maybe the Terminator? I'm guessing. Let's see here. The Terminator? Whoops. Maybe I should make that a capital. Just so it shows up nicely in my thing. So stop editing. Yeah, B, stop editing. Search. No, no games found yet. I put the Terminator. Oh, I know why. Ah, stupid me. Wait. I know why. Look, no I in Terminator. Ah, stupid mistake on my part. What a fun thing. And that's why it's good to have a keyboard with you handy. There we go. Terminator. Oh, they got RoboCop versus Terminator. I should get that game. Terminator 2. Why? Wait. Because I keep forgetting the eye in here? Why is it forgetting the eyes? Or is that something that I actually... Maybe the file term was missing the eye? There we go. Terminator 2, Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Two of my favorite games. A lot of people probably hated these games. There we go. And now, let's see if we could get some more of these. Okay, Afro, understandable. Alien 3, maybe I have to... Whoops. Maybe I have to abbreviate the 3 with the alien. So, now, search. There we go. We got it. Back to the Future, Part 2 and 3. Maybe I have to abbreviate Back to the Future, or I mean space, because maybe that's how it knows this stuff. And maybe, if we're lucky enough, we'll get this. And then maybe keep 2 and 3? No? Back to the Future 2 and 3. Let's see here. Should I space the 2 and 3? Search again? No? How about this? Because it came up before with Back to the Future, right? Let's trick it and say just Back to the Future, Part 2 and 3, right here. There we go. And then we can make it look like what it's supposed to be. Okay, Bomberman. Oh, Bombman. Oh, okay. Whoops. I hate when I do that. It's supposed to be Bomber. Wait, Bomberman. And then search. And we got Bomberman. You know, you just gotta keep going through this stuff to figure out what could be wrong with it. Dig Dug. I don't even know if that was an actual Nintendo game. But nope. Dig Dug was not a Nintendo. Donkey Kong. That should be a Nintendo game. And you just keep going through little by little. There we go. Donkey Kong. Yes. I want Donkey Kong. Input. Donkey Kong 3. Everything needs to be spaced. Donkey Kong 3. Then we should have Donkey Kong Jr. Yes. Yes, we do. It can be a little tedious, especially if you've got a lot of games, but just make sure when you're naming your games or naming the game, renaming the game ROM files, just make sure that you have them spaced. A little quick tip for you guys, from me to you guys. So this was Donkey Kong Jr. Last Action Hero. People are like, what kind of games is this guy wanting? These are some crappy games that he's picking out here. Well, I like these games, folks. Well, some of them. There we go. Last Action Hero. Ah. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Last Action Hero. This is a fake game, so we could skip that. And there we go. We got basically all our games parsed. So if we go into here, look at that, folks. You get to see Burger Time for Atari. You go to the Sega Master System. We got Aladdin with all its information right here. So if you go, how do you go down on the side of the information? So if I choose, wait, if I go to, no, shoot, if I select it, it goes to the game. Yes, it launches the game. I don't want to launch the game. X-nay that for a second. Maybe it just shows the information on each on the little window there. But basically, look, I got my whole thing right here. So Afro, of course, there's nothing on there. Alien 3, you got that. You got some game information here. I think there's a way to see the game information. Oh, there it goes. It scrolls up. Okay, there we go. So if there's a lot more game information, it will scroll up for you and you can see it. It's pretty cool. This is just like something you would see on your NES Classic or Super NES Classic. And I like this look for it. It's like an old school Nintendo look. It says NES, Nintendo Entertainment System and all that. Shows all the box art for these awesome games. Burger Time for the NES. Nothing for Dig Dug. I'll have to figure that out. Donkey Kong Jr., Dr. Mario, Final Fantasy, Jeopardy, Jurassic Park, Coco Adventure. I don't remember putting a Coco what? We got to go on to this. Hold on one second, folks. Let's load this game. What's this Coco Adventure? Oh, this is Kirby. They got... Wait. Hold on. They screwed up Kirby. Kirby's Adventure for Coco Adventure? Oh, hell no. We gotta fix this one, folks. So we gotta go into here. Yeah, we gotta edit this game here. This is not Coco Adventure. It's Kirby's. Kirby. So, Kirby. I think with apostrophe S. Kirby's Adventure. And let's see here. Let's scrape this sucker. No, we want Kirby's Adventure. There we go. There's the right game. See, you gotta sometimes go through the games as well, because they might screw up something on there. Now we can save it. Oh, yeah. Okay. So there we go. Back down. Now we're on the right thing. So you got to look through it sometimes. Sometimes they'll screw up some of the whatever for some reason. Monopoly, Panic Restaurant. A great game, by the way. Highly recommend it. I got a video up of me playing Panic Restaurant, Pro Wrestling, Qbert. One of the fan-made games there. This is basically Mario and Sonic together. I'll show you that in a second. Space Invaders, Star Trek, Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Mario Brothers 2, 3, Turn 2 Judgment Day, Tetris, Addams Family, The Terminator, some wrestling games. You're probably like asking yourself, well, where's Mario Brothers? Well, that's up here. Remember? That's up here. So that's Mario Bros. 1. So, before we go on to the next category, onto the SNES Classic that I have, I'll show you this a little bit. This is Super Mario Brothers. The Sega game. I don't think it has any sound on this. And of course I'm not hearing no sound, so it probably doesn't have any sound on this one. Let's see here. I gotta go into the menus. Sound settings. Yeah, we want that bad boy up to like 90%. There we go. Let's see here. Let's play a game with sound. Let's see. I gotta make sure these have sound. Are you hearing any sound? I'm not hearing no sound. Why am I not hearing no sound? There might be a little problem here. Because we're supposed to be hearing some sound on these games, and I'm not hearing no sound. Are you guys hearing sound? No. Huh. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's get back out of here. Menu. Sound settings. It's at 90. Enable sounds. Back. Let's see here. No. Let's see. Other settings. I think I gotta go to the RetroPie part. Here we go. Audio. Maybe it's not going through the HDMI. Auto HDMI. Yes. Let's see if that fixes things, because not getting no audio is not a good thing. So let's go to the Super Nintendo for now. We got all our games. I don't know why I don't got Donkey Kong Country. And I only got Donkey Kong 2 and something happened there. Let's go to, I don't know, Mortal Kombat 2? Yeah, licensed by Nintendo. Still not hearing nothing. That is an odd thing. I do not know why that's happening. It shouldn't be happening like that. I wonder if that's because... Hold on one second. I wonder if it's because... I don't know. Let's see. It's going through there. I'm going to change something here, folks. So let's pause this video for a second. Okay, everybody. I'm back. I think this might have been the answer to all our problems. Ah, there we go. I can hear sound now. You can hear sound? Okay. The problem was, it was a stupid part of my problem. It was nothing to do with my RetroPie at all. It was to do with my Game Capture HD device, because I accidentally had the audio going through an analog instead of through the HDMI cable. So, oh, my bad. So, we should be able to get all... Whoops. Here, I don't want that game. I know it's Super Mario All-Stars. Oh, wait. No, I had it all right. Oh, because it says Super Mario All-Stars, Super Mario World. Oh, okay. I don't know why they came up like that. See, sometimes these come up weird. Maybe because this was a part of the Super Mario All-Stars collection, but this is only Super Mario World. Here we go. Yeah! There we go. Empty. Player 1. Now I'm playing the game that I wanted to play all of this time. Super Mario World on my own SNES Classic. Yes. Thank you. Welcome. This land is great. Yeah. I get to play Super Mario World. And it's just like playing it on... Whoops. A Super Nintendo controller. Well, I am playing on a Super Nintendo controller. And it plays just like a Super Nintendo game. If I just remember how to play it correctly. Which apparently I don't. So, that's my bad right there. Hey, it's Yoshi. Yoshi. And I just come over here. Wow. My fault, people. Just me, stinking like usual. What else is new? I was playing very well earlier. I don't know why I'm stinking now. And it looks so good, doesn't it? The game looks so good and crisp on the screen. You know, I could get this screen to stretch, I think. I think there's a way to get the screen to stretch the picture, but why? This is like pixel perfect mode right here. You know, it looks so good, it plays so good, it sounds good. Yeah, Big Mario. Extra life. Eat him! No! Eat him! There we go. I could go up here to get a secret, but I'm just gonna go here. I'm just gonna complete this level for you guys so you can see that this game does work. There we go. Got a 27. And there you go, guys. Super Mario World on my own personal SNES Classic Edition here. And if you hit the start and select, you get right back out of the game. For some of these games, I think with this one, you do get game saves with your Super Nintendo games. Let's see if this saved my... Yes, it did. See, I'm 0. So it did save my game data for this game. So that's pretty cool, too. So you can get game saves with your Super Nintendo games. Not your Nintendo games, but your Super Nintendo games. So that's pretty cool. And I gotta figure out why I don't have my Jurassic Park for here. I gotta find some Sega. I gotta get some Sonic games for this too. And then for here I gotta get a game. What was the game I was gonna get? I forgot. I think I forgot. Oh, what was that game I was supposed to get for here? Oh well, I can think of it later. Oh, didn't even try Crash Bandicoot yet. Let's see if this PlayStation game works. I know it's going to be playing weird because I'm not using a PlayStation controller and I'm using this SNES Classic controller, but let's see if it plays. It does show it loading. Oh no, it just crashes to the home screen. So I'm guessing it just shows up, but it just won't launch it. For some reason. I do not know why. But it ain't loading it. That's okay. I'm still working out the kinks of this system. Like I said, you could add and delete games at will on this system easily. It's just a matter of selecting and getting rid of them. You know, this is a fun thing. You got this cool thing, and the more games you add for more systems, like if I added Game Boy games or something, and you just put them on your thumb drive, and then you pop in the thumb drive and you let it load on your SD card and stuff like that. More games will pop up. Like you'll have a section for your any game system that you can think of, old game system. Just look at the lists, see what ROMs work with what, and you're on your way. You got your own little RetroPie gaming system, your own little Super SNES and NES classic system. I think it's pretty cool. This whole thing looks pretty cool. The interface is very easy to use. I could do a whole lot more with it. I could configure themes. If I go into the theme manager and all that, I can configure some themes here. Let's see here. Carbon mode. Not installed. Let's see. We'll install it this time. Looks like it's installing this time. Carbon mold installed. Huh. Maybe because I got some data parsed and I have it on Wi-Fi. So let's see here. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. It runs pretty fast. I like it. I'm still going to be working on it. it's still a little bit of a work in progress, you know, learning some stuff, trying to get some more games for this thing. Maybe I could get some PlayStation games, because it does show the PlayStation thing here, so it should be able to play PlayStation 1 games. I just gotta figure out how to get them working. So, if you guys got any questions for me, at this end of this video, I am gonna show how much what I got altogether for the system, how much everything currently costs me, basically everything you can get on Amazon, some websites that you could go on, you know, the backtrack on the website thing. And there you have it, folks. That is my little RetroPie, or as I call it, the RetroPod gaming system that you can make for yourself. Very low cost. You don't have to go rushing to a store or online and get a big headache or freaking nausea every time you're trying to get something official from Nintendo or something. And if they're coming out with a SNES, when they come, well, I don't think anybody's going to get that SNES unless if you're a scalper or something. Why worry about it, folks? Why worry about it? If Nintendo ain't going to do it the right way, if retailers aren't going to be nice to us, you know, they're not going to help us, like, try to get these games, you know, to get these systems, you know, they don't want to try to play nice with consumers, and they're just being bullies, and they're saying, hey, we're just going to put this up at any time we want. Okay, whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to play your games. I'm not going to play by your games, people. I'm going to just do it my own way. I made my system. I'm going to play it my way. And none of you guys got my money. None of you got my money for this. Other people got my money, and I got to build a machine that plays all my games that I want to play. And basically, pretty much I got all the games I want to play on here. There's going to be a few other games that I do want on here that I want to try, and I want to try out some other types of systems and games and see how well those work on the system. And you know what? Then I can bring this to my friend's house. I could hook up another SNES controller to this, or NES controller, or they got the USB NES controllers, Super NES controllers. I could hook up a PlayStation 3 controller, and me and my friend can have some fun with this stuff. You know, it's a great little system. It's a great little project, and I'm glad that I can share this with you guys. Thank you for being patient. I know this is probably a long video, a very long video. If you guys got any comments or questions for me, please feel free to email me. All my information is going to be at the end of this video, all this information. So thank you once again. I'm going to go play some games off my RetroPod gaming system here with my SNES, my NES, my Sega. I'm just going to play some games. So everybody, peace out. See ya. Till next time. Tell your friends, family. Share this video with others. It's very easy. Fun. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.
Okay, everybody, Mr. Mike, one last time, folks, before I go and end this amazing video that I have done, at least that I think I have done, with this Raspberry Pi gaming console here, or the NES, SNES, Sega Genesis, and beyond retro gaming console. As you can see, hopefully in the video a little bit, I got my Raspberry Pi retro console right there in the corner. It's nice and snug there because it's got the nice little rubber bumpers on the bottom. It holds itself down over there. And I wanted to show this little video on how the games look and how the Raspberry Pi, or the RetroPie console, looks on a big screen TV. Now note, I got a 60-inch LED or LCD LED TV, and I got it all hooked up via HDMI and surround sound and stuff here. I got my controller hooked up to it. Note, I do have a little extension for it because the controller cable is still a little short. Go figure. A Nintendo controller, even if it ain't a real Nintendo controller, the cable is a little short. Oh well, at least with these cables, they're USB, so you can get a little USB extension cable to extend them. So I got my retro console here. Got it running, up and running. Let's see, what am I going to play? Let's see, how about we'll go back into Super Nintendo. Get out of this. No, get out of this. Ah. There we go. No. There we go. We'll go into Super Nintendo. And why don't we play some Donkey Kong Country? That was a game that I had to redo because it said Diddy Kong's Quest 2 on it, even though it was just the original Donkey Kong Country game. And I think it sounds pretty good. Let me up the sound a little bit here on my... There we go. There's Cranky Kong, the original Donkey Kong. I think it looks pretty good. I could tell it looks pretty good. From graphics back in the 1990s or 1992. There's Donkey Kong. Yeah. Oh no. Such a crazy game. Looks pretty big. Oh, 1994 Nintendo. Damn, this is a 1994 game. We're gonna play just me, one player. Okay, let's play Donkey. Now, I forgot the controls here. Oh, already died. Wow, that was me. That was my bad. Because I forgot all the controls of Donkey Kong. So those don't do nothing. Okay, I could jump. Oh, that's how you throw. You use that to throw and roll. Nice. Okay. I forgot Donkey Kong knew how to roll. that makes the game a lot better. Oh shoot. Diddy! Let's go, Diddy! Oh no, Diddy! No! Alright, we'll play one more time. The game feels great. It looks great. There we go. Now how do you switch between Donkey and Diddy? Oh, you hit X to do that. Okay. And I killed myself, because that's what I do. Huh. Whoa! Here, I want to get Donkey Kong. Hey, I got the golden camel. Yeah, rhino time! Oh, we're going underground. Secret underground banana. Da-da-da. Things like this that made Donkey Kong a great game. Yeah, I got Kong! Yeah! Let's go Donkey Kong. Exit time. And there you go, folks. That's what the Nintendo or Super Nintendo games look like on the RetroPie. Now let's get out of this. Let's see what a Nintendo game looks on RetroPie. Let's do a classic. Let's end with a classic for this. Actually, I was gonna do Sonic the Hedgehog, so we might do that after. But here's a classic for Nintendo. Donkey Kong. Do. Oh, Mr. Weeby, he's probably watching us saying, "Oh boy, you suck at this game, probably." And I do suck at this game. Oh, go! Go, Mario, go! Oh, I already died. Why did I jump? Am I doing that right? Okay, that's how I jump. I can't jump with that. I was hitting B to jump. Figures, a classic Mario game. Oh, I didn't jump in time. Yeah, let's get out of this before I hurt myself. It looks great. It plays great. I don't play great, but this plays great. Whoa, what did I do? I went to Atari. Now, let's go to Sega for a second. And I do have some games. I got Aladdin, Jurassic Park, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Terminator 2, which Terminator 2 really sucks. But, you know, what can I say? What am I doing? What am I doing here? There we go. Let's go to Sonic the Hedgehog, and we'll end up this video. Even though I'm playing on a Nintendo controller, basically. That's okay. And I found out there's some things you can't do with a Nintendo controller while playing Sonic. Meaning, you can't do the roll. I can't do the speed up roll. Oh well. All I can do is jump. But you can play Sonic the Hedgehog on my RetroPie using an NES controller, basically. There we go, Sonic. Woo! Oh, I got a ring. I got a bonus ring here. What the? Oh, it's one of these kind of games. Special stage. I didn't even know there was a special stage. But there you go, folks. There you go. There's the Raspberry Pi in action on a big screen, 60-inch TV here. Looks, plays phenomenally. Now, go make your own. That's all I can say is go make your own. And have some retro fun. Because you know what I always say, or what I have been saying, if you can't get an NES Classic or a Super NES Classic or any of those classics that Nintendo just doesn't want to sell you, you could always make your own. I'm Mr. Mike. Goodbye.
Get your hands up.